नोटबुक ચોપડી અડધી બહાર કાઢો. ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमद्देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. ओम. मंत्र नंबर 3. एतस्माज्जायते प्राणः मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च. एतस्माज्जायते प्राणः मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च. खं वायुर्ज्योतिरापः पृथिवी विश्वस्य धारिणी. खं वायुर्ज्योतिरापः पृथिवी विश्वस्य धारिणी. अग्निर्मूर्धा चक्षुषीश्चन्द्रसूर्यौ. अग्निर्मूर्धा चक्षुषी चन्द्रसूर्यौ. दिशश्रोत्रे वाग्विवृताश्च वेदाः. दिशश्रोत्रे वाग्विवृताश्च वेदाः. वायुः प्राणो हृदयं विश्वमस्य. वायुः प्राणो हृदयं विश्वमस्य. पृथिवी ह्येष सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा. पृथिवी ह्येष सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा. The Ishvara, with reference to cosmic seed form, the seed avastha, then entire subtle state, and then entire gross state. The Ishvara, with reference to entire subtle world, is called Hiranyagarbha or Brahmaji. By the way, in Shastra, when the word Hiranyam is used, it implies knowledge. Lord Shankara is called Hiranyaya. Hiranya means one who is of the embodiment of knowledge, total knowledge. Similarly, Virata, with reference to cosmic world, Virata means Vividena Rajate Shobhateya, that which manifests in many forms, in variety of ways, that with reference to entire gross world, Ishvara is called as Virat. There is, as I said yesterday, there is a model given how the Virat manifests. Vayuhu, what is Virat? There is an imagine. He is imagined as Purusha. Like Purushottam also there is a mention. Those mantras are there. Most of you chant this, so you know. Brahmano osya mukhamasi bahurajanya krutaha uru tadasya vaishyaha padbhyam shudro ajayat mukhadangrischa indrascha agnischa pranad vayurajayat, etc. So he says, Vayu, first he says, Agnihi Murdha. Murdha means head. The Panchagni Vidya, there is one kind of Upasana. We will see in the next mantra discussion. Some of you might have seen in Kumbh Melas. The sadhu has fire, all the four fires, four sides. And in the hot sun, they sit, stand and do upasanas. Or sit and do upasana. That is called Panchagni Upasana. In Chandogya, there is a different mention about it. But in Panchagni Upasana, the heavens, all the lokas above, they are called Agni, fire. Fire in a sense of effulgence. Fire in a sense of light. They are effulgent. Heaven means all lokas up to Brahma lokas. That is the head of Ishvara. In our popular jargon, the Virat Purush, 11th chapter of Gita, Bhagavad Gita, where there is imagery. Bhagavan is a Virat, Arjuna saw him. What is his head? All this Brahmaloka, etc. his head. Agnir Murdha, Vayu, he says Agnir Murdha. What are its eyes? Chakshushi Surya Chandra. Chandra Surya Chakshushi. That eyes are what? Surya and Chandra. Means sun and moon are like the infrastructure for Bhagavan to form his eyes. Or those effulgent things through which we see, they are the eyes of Ishvara. Dishashrotre, all the dishas, dasha dishas, all 8 and up and down, they are all his ears. Vak vivratascha vedaha. What is the speech? Vani of Bhagavan. What is the Vak? Vivratascha vedaha. Prasiddhascha vedaha. All well-known Vedas are his Vak. These Vedas are revealed by Ishvara. But one difference, I have told earlier, I would like to repeat it. Every religion claims this is revelation. Some of them got revelation in dream. And their God said, you can marry auntie, you can marry 3 women, 4. That's a revelation. That too in a dream. Something funny. What revelation? I don't know. They have their own revelations. But let us not get into that. Let them have Shraddha in their revelation. And we also say Vedas are revealed by God. There is a hell of a difference. Their revelations is nothing but set of do's and don'ts. A set of punishments. If you don't follow me, I'll punish you. If you don't believe me, you go to hell. There is no opposition party. Rahul Gandhi cannot survive there. Poor fellow will go to eternal hell because he opposes. Without any reason, he opposes. So here, whether forget about opposing, you just don't believe. Only faithfuls will go to heaven. Anyway, let them have that, whatever. But our Vedas is a body of knowledge. It is not set of do's and don'ts. Therefore, it is called Veda. Gnana. It's a book of knowledge. it was so heavy rains. I thought the power would go. I was since afternoon, I was apprehensive whether will I be able to take class or not. And the rain stopped by 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3:30. And suddenly the power went off. So anyway, coming back to this. Agnir Murdha Chakshusis Chandra Surya. Surya Chandra are Chakshushihi. They are its sun and moon are the infrastructures for the Lord. Vivrutascha Vedaha Va. Vedas are the speech. Why, as I was talking, Vedas are also revelation, but difference is its knowledge. Therefore, it is called Veda, with Gnane. And what is revealed in the Vedas? That which you cannot see, that which human intellect cannot discover by itself, that which is beyond individual comprehension, that is revealed in the Vedas. Therefore, it is called Vedaha. Vivrutascha Vedaha. Those Vedas which are well known, they are, this is ears, there is Vak, Vivrutascha Vedaha. Sadhana Sadhyaha. Upanishadaha Ityadi. Upanishad is Veda. Vayu Pranaha. Vayu is Prana. And Hridayam Vishwamasya. The mind is the world. Means Jagat is called Vishwam. That which is known through different types of cognitions. Vivida Pratyaya Gocharam Vishwam. That is called, that is Hridayam. That is his heart. That means known as mind. Hridayam means mind. The Jagat is Vishwam is mind. And then Padbhyam Prithvi. Feet are the earth. Earth which supports the feet are the feet of Ishvara. It's a poetic description of Virat Purusha. He is formless. Not that he has the form of a human being. All the forms are his forms. And he has no form. Therefore, he can assume any form. He can be Matsya, he can be Kurma, he can be Vara, he can be Nrsimha also. Like white color is no color. It's science. That surface which doesn't absorb any color. It reflects back all the colors is white. And that surface which absorbs all the 7 colors of the Vibgyor all together, that becomes black. But if it is white, it can assume any color. And if it is black, it cannot have any color at all, except black. So, Ishvara being formless, he can assume all the forms. So, with reference to entire gross world, Ishvara is imagined as Virat Purusha. Now, before we get into next mantra, I would like to give a little introduction. In the next mantra, there is some upasana. Shastra, Karmakanda section, the whole of the Vedas talk of 2 things. One, some rituals called as sadhana, sadhyas are talked about. Do this, this will be full up. Do this, that will be full up. In other words, sadhya or accomplished is punya or papa. Something pleasant hereafter or something unpleasant hereafter. Papa. That is sadhana sadhya. And it talks about certain upasanas. Okay. Now, it also talks about upasanas on the ritual. I will use the word upasana as upasana because upasana doesn't have a synonym. And the word meditation is certainly not the synonym for upasana. Though for want of any other word, we use the word meditation. But meditation is used for nididhyasanam as well as upasana. The word upasana means upa asanam. Upa samipe asanam. Ishwarasya samipe asanam. So the rituals also sometimes are the basis for upasana. And that time it is upasana is called vidya. Okay. The word vidya is used for upasana, that we have studied Ishavasya Upanishad when we have said Vidya Avidya Mrityum Tritva Vidya Amritam Ashmute, those mantras. So similarly, there is Upasana of Panchagni Vidya in Chandogya Upanishad. What is Upasana? Please you understand. There is one called Arthadhyasa. Upasana means superimposition. Upasana means Adhyasa. Adhyasa means to see something as something which is not, or to see something as more than what it is, or different. Our typical example of Arthadhyasa is seeing a snake in place of rope. There is a Arthadhyasa. There is a Gnanadhyasa also. Seeing something which is not there. That to see something other than what it is, more than what it is. What it is? Our typical example, Shaligrame Vishnu Upasita. They do Upasana of Lord Vishnu in Shaligrama. We do Upasana of Shiva in Shivalinga. We do Upasana of Shakti in the sword, on the Shera day, the Kshatriyas worship the swords. And they do Upasana. We do Upasana of Lakshmi in a golden coin. In Grihastha's house, we will find one golden coin. They will do puja. So, these are all called deliberate adhyasas. This is called deliberate gnanadhyasa. Now remember, I have an elbow room to clarify certain things about culture. All of you should know this very clearly. The Britishers created the confusion, and we are living with the confusion whole India. We are told that Hindus are idol worshippers. Hindu Murti Puja. Not, wow, there it is. Yeah, close the window. That's okay. They say Hindus are idol worshippers, and we also say हम मूर्ति पूजक हैं. Hindus say this. मूर्ति की पूजा करो वगैरह वगैरह. I had told this in Israel to just rabbinate whole thing, and they accepted and they wrote to government. Listen, human mind relates a form to express its emotions, to relate to something. We always communicate through forms. If Hindus are idol worshippers, whole world is idol worship. There's 3 Abrahamic religions. They say our God is formless. And Hindus' God is with form. And जो मूर्ति की पूजा करता है वो काफिर है. Therefore, break the murtis, break the temples. This is nonsense. They don't understand. This is out of sheer ignorance. If we are worshippers of idol, I said, whole world is worshipping the idol. I told them what it is. Look at the flag of every country. Just a piece of cloth with certain design and certain colors. When you salute the flag, you are not saluting piece of cloth. You are saluting the martyrs who sacrificed their lives for this country, who sacrificed their lives to protect the country. You are saluting your national pride. It is not the flag. You are transcending, in English there is the word atita. You are transcending the cloth and you do salute. It happened to me way back in 80s. I was taking classes in Ahmedabad University. So I used to go there for 15 days and 15 days. He invited me for Bhiksha, and one couple I knew quite close to me, and then only son, and he went to US in those days. Video call were not easily available. The fellow went, and I knew that mother would be unhappy, and she was unhappy. And then after having reached, he gave a call and conveyed the message. And then after 2 days, again called up and done. And after a week, this course is started. That American universities are like Rajdhani Express. If you miss one station, you cannot catch it. If you dropped it, you take a next train, you cannot. It goes fast. You have to work very hard. And the fellow was new and he has to set himself in the system, and then he could not fathom the things, and he was working very hard and he did not call. When the calls did not come, mother became anxious. My son. And she was nibbling her husband. Hey, he is not calling, he has forgotten us. He has become American, and may get some gori ko leke aayega, blah, 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 blah. All typical motherly approach. That fellow husband one day came and saw me, are you free tomorrow? I said, yeah, what's the thing? He said, please come home. And she is panic and unnecessary worrying. I know he must be busy, but then please help me to pacify her. I went. And while I was talking to her, suddenly phone came. And she picked up the phone. 2 minutes she did like this. She was crying and putting her hand across the telephone cradle. Do you think she was loving that plastic cradle? No. The love, Vatsalya, went to the son. It is called transcending. Understand? Atit jana. Sab mein hai. I told those guys, you are married, because their religious leaders are married, Jews, Christian, Muslim, and they have wedding ring, engagement ring, and they kiss it. I said, when you kiss the ring, you are not kissing a diamond. When you kiss the ring, you are not kissing the gold. The kiss goes to beloved. You transcend the ring. Can I say you are ring kissers? Can I say Israelis are known for their national spirit, very all over the world, Rashtrabound. Can I say you are flag worshippers, cloth worshippers? No. Onlooker thinks that you are saluting a piece of cloth. But the person himself or herself doesn't salute the flag. In his or her heart, the respect goes to the nation. Similarly, Hindu doesn't worship idol. You think that we are worshipping. When I am worshipping a Shiva Linga, my love and offering goes to Shiva, not to that stone. I know that. You think it goes to stone. Onlooker feels the other ones. Onlooker sees that fellow is kissing the ring, but in his heart or in her heart, the kiss goes to the spouse, not to ring. Nobody is idol. Hindus are not at all idol. We are God worshippers. Change. हम मूर्ति पूजक नहीं है, भगवत पूजक. भगवान की पूजा के लिए मूर्ति माध्यम होती है. सभी जगह पे you need a form to express your emotions. किसी के प्रति आदर है तो नमस्कार करना फॉर्म है, और क्या. किसी के प्रति शादी ब्याह में जाएंगे, फूल, you give a bouquet of flower, that is a form expressing your love. You give a gift, that is also a form. What else? Whole life is form. Language is a form. Tone is a form. Non-verbal communication. Your eyes is a form. How you express through the eyes. That's how the movie fellows communicate. Facial expression they communicate. So you need a form. Nobody is idol worship. And we are the least. We are God worship. When a devotee does puja to Shivlinga, it goes to Shiva. When a devotee offers some laddu to Vishnu, it goes to Bhagavan. So we are Bhagavat Pujakaha, Natu Murti. Not understanding. They broke our temples. And still they want to continue. Senseless. They have to be told. They also have a form. Why do they do namaz on a particular direction? You can do anything. Why they don't do Makkah and go and kiss that whole piece of stone structure, cube of structure of that? It is a form. They don't kiss a stone. It goes to Bhagavan. Their Bhagavan, whatever it is, whether we believe or not. And when they do namaz on that direction only, it's a form. How do you say so? They need a masjid to worship, and therefore there is a wall. That's a form. What else? Everybody needs a form. Hindus are God worshippers. Christian has a cross in the neck. That's a form. They kiss the cross. They do like this also. That's a form. Expressing their devotion to the Ishvara. Who doesn't have? Every religion has. And we also have. On the contrary, we have more evolved forms than any other religion. And we have a choice. Ours is a Walmart, supermarket. Sri Krishna, Hanuman, Mata, Govinda, sab available. You have a choice. They don't have a choice. Others have. Anyway, coming back to this. So, Upasana is to this particular form, or that ritual itself becomes a basis for Upasana. Here, that Chandogya Upanishad Upasana is used as a form. Okay? Creation, the process of creation in this mantra is talked about in the language of Upasana. What it is talked about? What is that Upasana? Before I give you that details, let me tell you one thing. It's an imagery, and there is a statement also. Not imagery, factual statement in the 3rd chapter of Gita. Saha yagnaf praja sruštva purovachah prajapatihi anena prasayishyadvam esha vastushta kamatak. There is yajna. Even in Purusha Suktam, there is yajna. Imagery of fire ritual. There are 2 meanings of it. One, that actual gross ritual, where there is a fire, there are oblations, there are mantras, there is yajmanas, there is purohitas, etc. But in every ritual, in that given ritual, what ritual is there where with this, where you, when you offer an oblation to any given form, any devata, then you say swaha. And what do you say later on? Idanna mama. That is common to all. Indraya swaha, idanna mama. Gayatre swaha, idanna mama. Prajapate swaha, idanna mama. That spirit of idanna mama is called Upasana. What is that spirit? Whatever is mine, I am not the sole author of it. Appreciating this fact, I give away my resources for the samasti, for the totality. The whole universe works on the spirit of idannam. Look at that. What we call ecology. Ecology is nothing but harmony. Samvadita jisko. And Paryavaran mein vikshep, disturbing the ecology, disturbing the harmony. Harmony means what? It is like music. Not just music, one music concert, big one. You see some big music programs when there are 100 plus artists playing various instruments. Even there will be 3 tabla walas, 2 bongo walas, dun, 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 2 dholak walas, 1 bansari wala, 1 just doing ting, 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 other fellow doing all this. All of them playing different instruments. All instruments give rise to different sound, but it becomes a sound, not a noise, because they play in a harp. संगीत निकलता है सब जब साथ में करते हैं, when they put together in a given pattern, there is a beautiful melody. It's so melodious that you may not know the raga, you may not know anything, but you also keep on shaking your head. That is harmony. Similarly, this world is like big musical symphony. Different forces are acting. They are opposite to each other also. But then there is a harmony. There is something called ecology. Everybody is contributing to maintain ecology. One simple example. Every tree is contributing to maintain oxygen ecology and carbon dioxide ecology also. If they don't absorb, you wouldn't have survived. They are maintaining the ecology. All the birds and butterflies and all the bees, they do pollination. You must have studied in the school. They maintain the ecology. Everybody is contributing. Even the pigs are contributing in India. You know that? Municipality cannot keep the clean. They are doing some half the cleaning works. The pigs are eating away the filth and maintaining the harmony. Whole creation, sun and the moon and the rivers and the mountains and everything, natural forces, living beings, all are contributing. To live with an attitude of becoming contributor and contribute something is also called yajna in Gita. Idan, I have resources. Just as all the resources are not meant for my consumption. Of them I have to contribute to others. Tree gets the fruits, but it is for others. Plant kingdom, they live for others. Animal kingdom, every cows and buffaloes and goats, they live for others. So in our life, human life, when you contribute with an attitude of idanna mama, you are doing yajna. In other words, our Puja Swamiji's famous words, I don't remain only a consumer, but I become a contributor. Paying tax is yajna. Whatever you earn, the nation has a demand. It's a part of it, belongs to it, you give away. Therefore, our whole life, Hindu life, is nothing but life of yajna. A typical village life, even today, starts with yajna. What they do? The old man of the home, the senior most person, will take the food grains and give it to birds. हर गांव में इसको हम चबूतरा बोलते हैं, bird feeder in English. There is no other word for it. Every village has one. क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में? चबूतरा ही बोलते हैं. चबूतरा. There is a चबूतरा. They will go and feed. The food that you eat, mother would tell invariably, जाओ बेटे गाय कुत्ते को दे के आओ. Whatever is mine, I have to share. Tena tyaktena. Develop an attitude of contributing. Having a life of contribution is yajna, means offering the resources. I can offer not necessarily my food grains. You offer your money, you offer your knowledge, you offer your wealth, you offer your strength, whatever you do for others. Others includes from ant onwards. Therefore, in India, you will find there are ant feeders also. In a public garden, they will take some and put it on the near the tree where the ants come and they are fed. You know one thing? What a culture we have. Every house has to have some rangoli outside. That was our culture. In the north of India, we do it with the chemicals. But if you go to south, there is always white rangoli. You know what is white? That is a atta of chawal, rice. They make it out of rice. Why? Those rice are eaten by the bugs and the insects that are there around the house. Our chemicals they won't eat. North, because of these Muslim rules, we shifted to that. I guess that's my akalan jisko kehte. But then traditionally you do with flour, some flour, wheat flour or rice flour or something. If you go to all the states, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, they do every day contribution. Whole Srishti runs in a yajna form. Everybody is contributing. So that upasana, deliberate. You know, some people, they say we don't believe in murti. We don't, our God is formless. But you are too young, some of you might not have been born. In Kashmir, Muhammad's Baal was lost. Hair of the Muhammad. They say it is Muhammad hair. I don't know who did DNA. That is my question, but it's okay. I trust them. And it got lost. There were riots in it. That hair is something. If you say you are, can we say then your hair idol worshippers, hair idol worshippers? It's a symbol of the reverence, of the respect for the prophet. Can't say that. Similarly, they can't say you are idol worshippers and cow worshippers. No. We are Ishwar Pujaka. So even if you go to the South Asian countries, you know, Myanmar and Thailand and Malaysia and Indonesia, there is Buddhism, very, it's almost a state religion for them. They worship tooth of Buddha. Some relic of Buddha have been found in terms of clothes. I remember when Narendra Modi was a prime chief minister here, and archaeology department of MS University found relic of Buddha, piece of, and he organized a conference in MS University, Hindu Buddhist dialogue. So we were there with Dalai Lama, and we went together, me and Swamiji, and Dalai Lama Shashtang Namaskara, piece of cloth. It's a symbol of his respect, of his Shraddha on Buddha. Similarly, Yajna means contributory actions. That is talk that whole creation is Yajna. So this mantra, look at this mantra, I will explain now, the mantra number 5. Tasmadagnis samidho yasya suryaha. Tasmadagnis samidho yasya suryaha. Somat parjanya oshadayah prithivya. Somat parjanya oshadayah prithivya. Puman retas sinchati yoshitaya. Puman retas sinchati yoshitaya. Bahvih prajah purushat samprasuta. Bahvih prajah purushat samprasuta. That is the sentence. That is the purport. That is the essence of this mantra. Though it looks like an upasana mantra, but it is not. It describes the Virat, the creative process, symbolically, in the form of poetically, yajna form. But in the language of yajna, in the language of upasana, the creation is told. And it says, Purushat Samprasutaha. What? Bahvi Praja. Bahvi means many, not many. Varieties of beings are born out of Purusha. Purushat Samprasutaha. Prasuti, very well born from Purusha. That's the essence. Please remember, though there is some scientific basis to this, but idea is the purport or the essence is not to prove this is scientific or unscientific. It is just a prakriya model. Tatparya is that all of us are nothing but that Purusha. In the previous mantra, when it was said, it is said, Esha Purushaha Sarva Bhutantaratma. Purusha is the very self of everything. Similarly, he says Purusha is born as everything. Exactly like, if I give an example, suppose some says there was 10 biscuits of gold, and those 10 biscuits were cut into 40 small pieces. And those 40 small pieces again were cut, some of them were cut into each into 2, and therefore it became 60. And out of that 60, some of them were converted into wire. And from that wire, these rings came. From 10 gold biscuits, 40 pieces, and from 40 pieces, listen the language, from 40 pieces to 60 pieces, and from 60 pieces, wires were born, and from wires, the chains are born. It is not the Tatparya. Tatparya, it was gold and this is gold, that's all. Though you say from biscuit, otherwise parle walas will create change, parle glucose, they will keep creating change if it comes from biscuit really. It doesn't come. And otherwise it is said, no, there were 10 biscuits, and from there a huge rod came, and the rod was cut into 10 pieces into small rods. And from these 10 pieces, another 10 ring rods were created. And from those 10 small rods, this ring came. This fellow is talking of rod, this fellow is talking of chain. Ultimately, I am talking that was gold and this alone is gold. That's all. Purushat Praja Sampurna. That Purusha is. When it is said from God, this came, from this came, it means what? He alone manifested as this. Gold alone manifested as biscuits. Then it became pieces. Then it became further pieces. Then it became war. Where is become? There is no become. Gold remains gold. So from Purusha, Akasha came. From Akasha, Vayu came. From Vayu, Agni came. From Agni, water came. From earth came. How can water come from fire? That's not a Tatparya. Tatparya is Purusha alone appeared as fire. Alone appeared as water. Alone appeared as. From earth the food came. There is no coming. It is there. He manifested as. So this is stopped. The Chandogya Upanishad symbolically says this is offered into this. Therefore, this comes and this is offered into this. Poetic offering, not real. The Chandogya says, there's, this Tasmad Agni Samidaha Yasya Suryaha. From that Brahman, Tasmad Agni, from that Brahman, fire came. I have told you in the previous mantra, fire means heavens, different lokas came. And to that different lokas, what? Samidaha Yasya Suryaha, for which sun is the oblation. In the fire of heaven, the oblation, Kavidravya of Surya was offered. What did come out of that? From that fire, that effulgent heaven, Samidha yastasmat Somaha. Chandrama is born. Somat Parjanyaha. From moon, there are rains. Moon offered itself to clouds, and the clouds became rain. And Parjanyaha, our rain offered itself into earth, it became ocean. Oshadayaha Prithivya. It became Oshadi. Oshadi means Annam. Tasmat, that Annam was offered as Oshadaya. That is okay. Then the food has to be processed in the body by the Jatragni, that it became food and became the seed in the human being. And that the seed is offered into female, and that is how the Praja is born. It's an order. In a sense of offering. It is mentioned about the gati of Jiva in our Shastra. One thing I would like to tell you, people are often, when there are question answer sessions, they often have question about river, etc. Our Shastra very clearly says, like you Westerners would understand very easily. Wherever you have to go to some unknown place, the moment you start the car, before it moves, you put your GPS. Then only move. It takes 2-3 minutes to put GPS because the car, this keyboard is also very smart, like our mobile. Sometimes you write something and it takes something else, and the message goes just the reverse, ulta message. So then you spend time, you rub it and write it again, do it. GPS. Once the GPS is there, then you travel. In India, that's not a problem. Every Indian is a GPS. You roll down the mirror, a class, hey, where is I? Go right and ask me. When they are so confident that they know or not, they still give you advice. That is another part of India. But that GPS, typical Indians have seen, they confuse the GPS. When they go somewhere, they know there is a shortcut. The GPS that Mausi, that Mausi GPS lady tells, after 800 meters, turn right. This fellow takes a left. Then she says, recalculating. By the time it recalculates, again she says, go straight for 2 kilometers and then turn 45 degrees right. This fellow takes 90 degrees. Recalculating. They keep confusing GPS. In Indian GPS, would be different, they will say, go to this wrong side, police doesn't catch you. And take a shortcut and take a right turn. And in the bracket, the message will come. If they are caught, they charge only 100 rupees. Period. You have to bribe only this and go there. Anyway, Shastra says, before Jivatma leaves the body, GPS is set. And like mountaineering, when you are mountaineering, you put your leg here, and when you lift another leg and put up on the top, you press with your toes and make sure that it can hold. Then only you lift the next one. Before they leave the body, they go there. So this return journey is referred as Panchakti. They go to some lokas. How are they born here? Then he says, the return journey is the fellow from heaven, this Jivatma. When it comes down from heaven, it comes down through rain. It enters into the cloud, and from the clouds it is rain. That Jivatma enters into the Mother Earth, and then from Mother Earth it enters into a given plant as a food, and that food is eaten by male of a given species according to karmas of jivas. And that Jivatma then goes into the body of a female sex, and then Prajayante, they are born. That is at every stage of travel, there are some upasanas. This is Vedic upasanas. Today, let me candidly accept this, that Vedic upasanas, there are not many upasanas. Today we have smart upasanas, Krishna upasanas, Rama and Hanumanji, and some forms here and there. Vedics are missing, but then the details are there in the Shastra. It says Tasmat from Brahman, Agnihi Swarga. For Swarga, Surya, Samita is a light effulgent is offered. Then Soma is born. Then Asoma from Soma, first Swarga, second clouds through sun and the moon, then Prithvi, then food, then seed, and then planting the seed and the birth. That means what? That Annam is offered in the fire of digestion. Therefore, we have prayer. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deha. And there is double cooking. One is cooking by outside through gas and cooker. Second cooking takes place here. All those bhaji pav that you have eaten, the bread doesn't remain bread here. It is cooked. Which form? First cooking is that it becomes digested. That Vaishwanara cooks what? It becomes absorbed. It gets absorbed into body for the nourishment, etc. That is how it is. It is born. Oshadibhyo annam. There are mantras also in Upanishad, etc., which I will not quote it here now. So Shastra talks about upasanas. This creative process in the language of upasana. One offering itself into other, as though rain offers itself to Mother Earth, as though Mother Earth offers itself to various fruits and eatable things, as though they are offered to this male species in the form of seed. Then it becomes seed, and then birth. Tasmat bahvih prajaha prajayante. So many bahvi varieties of beings are born from this bush. Remember, biscuit, chain. From the rod, from the pieces, it is said from. Tatparya is what? From golden biscuit to golden pieces to golden chain to golden rings and ultimately golden gold. What comes and goes is the biscuit, is the pieces, is the rod, is the wire, and is the chain. Gold is all the way. It is one gold that manifested in different forms. It is one Ishvara that manifests in varieties of form. Tasmad va etasmad atmanah akashas sambhutah prithibhyam oshadayah. The Taittiriya Upanishad. Akashas sambhutah akashad vayuhu vayo ragnihi agne rapah adbhyah prithvi prithibhyam oshadayah oshadibhyonnam annat purushah Sava esha purusho narasamaya tenaisha purnaha, etc. goes on. Tatparya is that Virat Purusha alone is manifesting as Shiva. And the same description, it continues in the form of yajna, actual ritual also. Purusha is yajna. There is a mantra also in the Veda, yajna vai Vishnu. Vishnu is indeed ritual because he himself offers himself as though to become man, as though to manifest as man. Similarly, that Vishnu is equated to ritual also in the next mantra. Tasmad Drisama Yajum Sidiksha Yagnasya Sarve Kratavaha Dakshinasya, etc. We will see that mantra next week, Saturday. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। Namaste to all.